I'm Patrick Elwood. Here's why the ballots in Cook County are so critical. The Democratic and Republican races for governor are still too close to call. On the Democratic side, fewer than 7,000 votes separate incumbent Pat Quinn and his challenger comptroller Dan Hines.
Time once again for Patrick's People in Places.
Checking in with Patrick this morning in Hyde Park. Hey, Patrick.
Hey, you guys, taking the show on the road. In fact, we're here at Kenwood Academy. Good morning, everybody. Say good morning. Good day, Chicago. Midway through our flight, the general lets me take control of the plane. Yes, that's what I said. I'm flying the plane. It's the annual Chicago Golden Gloves boxing tournament at Cicero's Clyde Park District Fieldhouse. The Chicago Golden Gloves has been around since 1923, producing such greats as Sonny Liston, Muhammad Ali, and Irish dancer Michael Flatley, just to name a few. But lately, some say there is a cloud hanging over the Golden Gloves, and it has everything to do with this man. Chicagoland Golden Gloves director Ted Gimza.
Talk to me about the arrest from 2012 and the charges that you are facing.
No. But hold on a second. I got some more questions I need to ask you. And for 98 of his almost 101 years, August J. Barbary would live on the same South Chicago Heights street. Consider what's changed since his early days, far removed from the frenetically paced get-it-done world of today. Chicago's longtime iconic Wrigley building wasn't even in the planning stage yet. The U.S. had only 45 states. Few people had a radio, and there was no TV.
The family spent time together. There was nothing else.
And like most Americans then, he was born at home. Several years later, World War I would break out, and he would lose many family friends. After high school, August would soon meet and then later marry his beloved Ida. The two moved into the home Augie built right next door to his parents' place. And fancy this, they would buy this new thing back then called a refrigerator.
There it is, 1939.
Oh my gosh, that's great.
That's right. He said a 1939 refrigerator, and he still has it, and it still works.
There it is.
That is fantastic.
Nice.
Some of the best of what Hyde Park has to offer. We're at Valois Cafe, and they've been busy because they do it right here, and they do it at a pretty economical price. In fact, let's say good morning to some of these folks here. Hello, how are you?
Good.
What's your name?
Soleil.
Okay, so how old are you?
7 years
Are
old.
you excited about school starting?
Yes.
And how was your breakfast?
Good.
Thank you so much. You know what? They've been doing it right here and serving people like this young lady for a very, very long time. In fact, since 1922. How would you describe Valois to somebody who is not from around here?
Well, Valois is your neighborhood diner. It's the place where everybody knows your name. It's a neighborhood place. We got a lot of regular customers coming in. It originally started in 1921. It was a French couple who opened it, and my family took over in 1970.
What kind of food do you offer?
We offer breakfast, lunch, dinner. We got omelets, eggs, pancakes, French toast. We got a great steak and eggs, $9.95. You can't beat the prices here. We got good food at cheap prices.
I read a quote from Sprouse that said, it's the same as the grocery store, same price, but you don't have to do the dishes.
Exactly. We do all the cooking and the cleaning.
Very good. And how many pounds of sausage and eggs do you go through in a week, you think?
A lot. 50 boxes of eggs, maybe. It's 360 eggs in a box, 360 dozen eggs in a box. So you do the math.
A lot of busy chickens. Some notables who have been here. I see Bill Veck, President Obama.
We've had Bill Veck, Obama come in. We've got the Reverend Jackson comes in a lot.
And a lot of regular folk, too. I see some working guys, some construction guys behind me as well.
We got construction, blue collar, white collar. We got everything here.
It's a melting pot right here.
You got it. We even had the mayor walk in.
Very good. So what did he order, by the way?
Yeah, baked chicken.
You did?
Said it was finger licking good.
Well, I tell you what, I've worked in a kitchen before. I'm no stranger to the grill. I could jump in for you. What do you think about that?
I don't know if that's such a good idea, but I do have a job for you if you like.
Dishes! Doing the dishes! On a sun-kissed kind of day, the legend of Chicago Fire Department Captain Herbie Johnson continues to grow. Last November, Herbie helped to save several families, including small children, from a burning home. But tragedy struck soon after, and he died from smoke inhalation. This bear of a man with the tender heart was a walking, talking profile in courage, says fellow firefighter and friend John Hedrick.
You're never scared to go into a fire with him because you knew he knew what he was doing. Never scared. You were confident with him being there with you.
The first guy to go in, the last guy to come out?
It sounds cliche, but yeah, basically.
Gil, let's talk about the larger context here. The Blagojevich sentencing, or he is guilty on public corruption, many counts, coming after the George Ryan matter as well. Is he looking at the bigger picture of corruption and politics in Illinois?
He's absolutely looking at the bigger picture, and that's part of our criminal justice system. When you're
Several days later, though, Andrew made his peace with his lot in this life, but he had a request for his family. When he's gone, they have to help others who have helped him.
A few days before he passed, he pulled us aside, my family and I, and he wanted to make sure that we paid forward the kindness and generosity that he received. We are surrounded by the love and support of thousands of people.
So this Sunday, Andrew's family will do just that. They're having what's called Wish Fest, music, entertainment, good times for a good cause, raising money to help other families with medical needs. His family is going to pay it forward all right and announce at Wish Fest the first beneficiary of the Andrew Wisher Foundation.
We're beyond excited to make the announcement at Wish Fest.
The Wisher family says that Andrew's time with them would not be a better blueprint on how to live a life of faith, courage, and strength. Knowing that every day is a gift, either on this side or on that side of the rainbow. Patrick Elwood, Fox 32 News. It is a vibrant place rich in history, commerce, religion, diversity, and culture. Hyde Park has much to offer, having the feel of a suburb and a bustling city, says Carlos, a longtime resident.
Everything right here. You got the lake, beautiful parks, you got the Museum of Science and Industry, the presidents own a home like right down the street. So University of Chicago, Rockefeller Chapel, I mean, like, you know, it's a beautiful place.
Established in 1853, Hyde Park was intended to be an escape from the rapidly growing downtown 7 miles, either by horse and buggy or by train by way of the Illinois Central Railroad. In 1891, the University of Chicago opened its doors through a grant by philanthropist John D. Rockefeller. All this time later, many laureates, Nobel Prize winners, and creation of the world's first controlled nuclear reaction, spearheaded by Enrico Fermi. 2 short years later, Hyde Park gained international acclaim with the Columbian Exposition. Millions of visitors came to the White City, and many stayed. The Museum of Science and Industry, it's the only building left from the Columbian Exposition. Hyde Park has been the home to Americans of great distinction and character. In the aftermath of President Abraham Lincoln's assassination, Mary Todd Lincoln and her sons lived at what is now the Hampton House.
History was made tonight.
And so did Chicago Mayor Harold Washington. Amelia Earhart, Saul Bellow, President Barack Obama, and the irrepressible Muhammad Ali have all called Hyde Park home. It's here at the Hyde Park Hair Salon where the president was a regular customer.
Hyde Park is a welcoming place, very friendly, exciting.
And as a little boy, Jafar Muhammad would often see the champ around the neighborhood, a perfect fit for this classic Chicago community.
But he was always in the neighborhood, so he's just like your dad, your brother, you know. I always come back here. I've been a lot of places in the world, but my home is right here in Hyde Park. I love it over here.
Patrick Elwood has been tracking the Stanley Cup since then. The traffic jam there outside at Harry Carey's in Rosemont. Hey, Patrick.
Hi, guys. Happy Stanley Cup morning to you. Let me introduce you to a few thousand of my closest friends. Hi, you guys. How was that moment when the team arrived about 15, 20 minutes ago? You've been here since midnight, some of you before that. The Stanley Cup comes off of the bus, and the place goes crazy. All right, so your mother's called me. They want to know when you're going to shave your hockey beards.
Not anytime soon. Not till after the parade.
After the parade. Very good. I mean, there's been so many great moments throughout this playoff run, but maybe the 2 goals in 17 seconds last night was unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Honestly, who was thinking it was going Game 7? Come on already. Okay, I believe you.
Just like in Philly 3 years ago, Game 6.
I thought it was going overtime.
In regulation, because that's how we do Chicago Blackhawk hockey.
All right, it's kind of hard to compare, but 2013 versus 2010? Is there one better? Are they on equal par? What's going on?
It's Chicago Blackhawk hockey.
It's all equal.
It's
all right.
14's going to be better.
There's a forward thinker. All right, as he was walking in, Joel Quenneville, the super coach of the decade, if not perhaps the ages, took a few moments and stopped and talked to me. Let's hear what the coach had to say. Coach, what's the difference between this and 2010?
It's bigger. It's gotten bigger. It's been, this was a great series. It was a lot of fun. We kind of quietly came in here in 2010. Now it's a little crazier, but what a celebration. I'm happy for the fans in Chicago. We got a lot of things to be celebrating about, but this was a special year, a lot of fun. Let's have fun with it. It was a great game and a great fun year for everybody.
Did you feel when Detroit had you down 3-1 that was a galvanizing moment for your team?
Yeah, they had us on the ropes. We're basically on life support there. But you know what? The character and the belief that we had going into Game 5 at home was in the right place. And winning that game, going into Detroit down in the third period, was a huge win. Game 7 was a memorable game. We've had some unbelievable games in this playoff run. None more amazing than tonight.
Back live, Brent Seabrook in the cap and the coat, walking away right now, a champion, and what an unbelievable playoff performance he had. So as we send it back to the studio, Coach Quenneville said he wants to thank the fans of Chicago. Everybody is still inside, well, not everybody, but mostly. And to that we say, how about a little Chelsea's dagger? What I'm talking about. Adulation, euphoria. You use the word fill in the blank. It's a wonderful day. Back to you guys in the studio.
Really cool is that, Coach Q was saying when he was inside, he was saying this feels bigger than 2010, and it really does feel special.
Good morning, Patrick.
Good morning to both of you. It is a troubling statistic indeed. Once every 15 seconds in America, a woman is abused. If the accused goes on the lam in Cook County, a group of specially trained cops will be at the ready.
What's this, be on the news? Cook County Sheriff's Police making an arrest on Chicago's north side. The man here failed to appear in court to answer to a domestic violence charge. With several drug charges as well, he's no stranger to the legal system. His name is Michael.
I'm just dealing with a lot of tragedy and
I could tell.
Stuff in my life right now.
Michael's arrest.
The canine officer will take up the rear in any of the stops that we make.
Is done by Sheriff Tom Dart's Warrant Execution Unit. Today, 7 teams with more than 60 officers fanned out across the county as part of Domestic Violence Awareness Month.
The most important thing that we do after we make an arrest is going to be the physical search of the arrestee.
Their day began dark and early with roll call at 5 a.m. Their directive, get the offenders but go home to their families safe and sound. In the unit I was with, all of these officers are veterans, very professional and heavily armed due to the volatile nature of domestic violence calls, and they reflect Chicago's ethnic makeup. One speaks Spanish, another Serbian, another Polish, and of course, they all speak English.
The sheriff takes domestic batteries very seriously.
On the job 22 years now, Bob O'Neill is the director of the unit.
It's very unpredictable because when you go in the house, you're going there for a domestic battery offender, but yeah, at one time the girlfriend or wife was mad at him, but now she's back in love with him. So now they all turn against the police as soon as you get in the house.
Domestic violence is the leading cause of injury to American women aged 15 to 44, more so than rapes, muggings, and car accidents combined. Did you know that once every 15 seconds an American woman is abused by her husband or partner? As for his case, Michael says he never touched his old girlfriend, but he did threaten her. What happened with the original arrest? Did you get into a fight with your old girlfriend? Or?
You know, it wasn't even. It was more like what they call that there? This new thing they got, verbal assault, like. You know what I'm saying? I never put my
verbal
hands on
threat
it like that. Yeah, you know.
To be sure, Michael has seen better days. He will be taken to the medical wing of the Cook County Jail and will soon appear before the judge. The plastic bag this officer is carrying has more than a dozen prescriptions. Michael says he has cancer and he has AIDS. He will ask the judge for leniency. The officers wish him well and go back to what they are paid to do and do well, enforcing the laws designed to keep you and me safe.
Oh, yeah. Play the blues, baby. Time once again for Patrick's People and Places, and today we're going to Grant Park.
And there's a great reason for that. It's time to kick off this year's edition of Blues Fest with a very special guest. Hey, Patrick. What's going on?
Hey guys, good morning to you. Blues Fest, 30 years now, 30th anniversary, and of course synonymous with Chicago, the skyscrapers, deep dish pizza, and the Chicago blues scene. And this gentleman here to my right, Fernando Jones, I'm so happy to have him here with us this morning. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, man, and I'm glad to be here.
Nice
Got
to see
two
you.
Catholic school guys that's gonna do the blues bright and early in the morning with y'all.
You know, so the Chicago blues scene came out of the Great Migration down south in the 40s and the 50s. And what better place to have Blues Fest than right here? And it's an international crowd. 500,000 people expect.
500,000 people will come through the park over the course of the weekend, and we want to invite everybody to come by our Blues Kids Foundation tent. It's family friendly. You can bring the little baby, and you can even bring Big Mama, because we're going to play the blues down here. We're going to play games, and we're going to have a good time.
You know, we mentioned in the setup to you, we had a very special guest, and you're special for so many reasons. One, you're such an accomplished player, but two, you give back to the kids and to the city. You teach at Columbia College, and you also run a kind of Keep Blues Alive camp during the summer through your blueskids.com foundation.
Yeah, well, we have a campus called Fernando Jones's Blues Camp, and we're right out of Columbia College, Chicago, and we don't charge the kids a dime to come. And we have kids that come from all over the world, and we provide academic, lodging, and hotel scholarships for kids to come and have a good time. I created that because I was a blues kid. Started playing at 4 years old, inspired by my big brothers, and it gives kids a place to play with like-minded others.
So it's something that they feel when they walk away. It's in their blood. It's in their bones.
And as a matter of fact, they're going to be playing. You're absolutely right. And they're going to be playing tonight. They'll be playing at the Pritzker Pavilion at 6:30. We've got kids that are from Minneapolis, California, Indianapolis, Chicago, and we're going to throw down tonight at 6:30 at the Pritzker Pavilion. And it's all.
You're the opening act.
Yeah, we're the opening act. You know.
Can you give us a little sampling of that?
Okay, let's do this song that I wrote for the city of Chicago called "Chicago's Got Everything You Need," and it's a call and response, so you can sing if you're at home. All right, here you go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I say Chicago. 1, 2, 3. Draw. Chicago, sing. Chicago has got everything you need.
Chicago.
I say Chicago. Chicago has got everything you need. We've got a great lake and gold plated streets. We've got Chicago, hot dogs.
and championship teams. And championship teams. We are the city that works with a skyline. Let's make that press. Don't play some, son. Don't play some.
Who knew Patrick had the skills?
What time is Patrick taking the stage tonight?
I'm going. Whenever he's up there, I'm up there. Wow.
I had no idea. I must say, I am thoroughly impressed. I really am.
That is such a
phenomenal. Let's hear it. Wow.
Appreciate that. All right, sweet as bear meat.
Patrick.
Back to you guys in the studio. We'll give you some more coming up next hour.
Nicely done. Yeah.
More of that,
few tricks in our bag.
We may have to have you every half hour with performances like that. Good job,
We'll
guys.
see you.
Awesome.
Jeez.
Awesome, Patrick.
If there's anything that embodies hope, it is unequivocally, undeniably spring training. Yes, hope springs eternal in the hearts and the minds of the players and fans alike.
Hopefully we'll get it cured sooner than later.
And hopes of conquering kids' cancer. Leading the charge for the Chicago White Sox once again is John Danks, a guy who's got a heart as big as his home state of Texas.
To really help us raise awareness to that, we appreciate it so much.
Well, it's the absolute least I could do.
This is the 5th year for Big John to step up, the pitcher who plays leadoff for our school's challenge. You see, his 5-year-old cousin Cooper is a cancer survivor. So this is a no-brainer, I mean, no-header to him.
He's still cancer-free and he's doing well, man. He's a warrior.
As we begin, I soon learned that fate would throw me a curveball. A couple of swipes of John's head, I quickly realized the clippers I grabbed from a bunch at home but did not test was dull. I mean, 100 heads already shaved dull.
This is the simplest haircut given. Taking forever.
Even John's buddy, fellow pitcher Chris Sale, who jumped in as my reliever, had to poke a little fun.
I say you just leave it like this.
Cool Hand John, though, was cool with it. And a short 25 minutes later, voila, magnifique.
Well done.
Before we parted ways, I had to ask the guys for a few pitching tips for the kids.
It's a game. Have fun.
Simple but brilliant. Just like the pitching tips, I was willing to pass on to Johnny B. Good.
Ever thought about throwing the ball without the thumb?
No, I hadn't.
Maybe want to roll that out sometime this year, huh?
Together we can make a difference.
John Danks, you rock.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it so much. Appreciate it. Absolutely.
Move over American Idol. There's a new kid on the block and some adults too. Brought to you by my family on my wife's side. The Zawaskis, who are very proud Polish Americans. And in the spirit of breaking up the monotony of a cold Chicago winter, I give you Polish Idol.
It had all the makings of a fine production, a loosely defined production, a raucous crowd, and a tough panel of Polish-American judges. Like its not-so-close cousin, American Idol, we didn't know what to expect. First out of the box, sister-in-law Liz and Uncle John, calling themselves Cowboy Casanova. And the hits just kept coming. Cousin Katie singing Eye of the Tiger. Cousin Maggie singing Dream Big.
When you walk with pride.
Mother-in-law Jonelle with a spot-on impersonation of Susan Boyle. Oh yeah, check out the stage crew. Me and Uncle Terry setting up for my daughter Lexi, playing Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Son Marty singing Homer Simpson's Spider Pig. Nephews Danny and Brendan with the dinosaur dance. Look out world. Nephews Eric, Ben, and John, known here as 3.5 Men. Sister-in-law Stacy and her little ones doing their thing too. And check out these little stars, family friends Bridget and Charlie. Can't forget niece Emma. And in the end, it was a tough call, said the judges. the Zawaski Polish Idol winner.
And the winner of the first ever Polish Idol, ladies and gentlemen, is our very own Miss Kelly.
None other than my daughter, Callista. And what did she win? A Polish ham with a picture of Polish Pope John Paul II. But really, everybody here was a winner too.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, thanks for coming out. Seacrest out.
Adorable.
I love it. They're a wonderful family. Simon Cowell, eat your heart out. I wonder if we have to pay any royalties for that stuff.
I don't know, but I'll leave it to Callista to rule the world. I'm calling her for
Good
some
stuff.
ham.
And they're already practicing for next year.
It's a cool event.